Hello guys, this is your instructor Jun. Today I'm gonna talk about the potential exam review. For you guys. So far, the exam will be on the September 28th, but I'm gonna open the video 6 p.m. on September 27th, and then no, not video, the exam, and then the exam will close on noon September 20. Basically, you're gonna have 18 hours of a window. You can take the exam, right? So you can start any of time between the interval, but once you started, you cannot go back and you cannot pause the exam, and you will have 90 minutes, right? Um, and the exam will be 9 questions in total. If you studied enough, it will take about 1 hour, 10 minutes or something, 70 minutes. But I might give you some extra time, but I don't want you guys cannot do the problem because you didn't have enough time, but as the exam was not intended for that, but instead it's asking you what you have learned so far. As long as you follow the class slide and videos I have uploaded, then you should be in good shape. So first thing you should know is try to solve all the questions. So try to solve all the questions in slides and homeworks. So it's an open book exam as a nature of this online school because of COVID-19, but the exam. So some students might think, okay, if during the exam time I can start studying. I don't have to study until the exam because it's open book. That is never true. Those who have experienced that kinds of thing before, you might not have enough time actually, and you might be a little panic which chapter to look at the time of exam. So that would be absolutely not a good idea to start studying during the exam. So you might want to study, try to solve the question in slide and homework. Those are definitely a good source. And second is try to do the practice test I uploaded. Because I'm not gonna give you exactly the same question, but question might be somewhat similar. I only gave you a couple of questions, in those practice questions, but that will give you some kind of idea what kind of question I'm looking for. No multiple question, and everyone will have different questions. So to prevent cheating, so you are not allowed to copy your friends or any other getting help from others, and you are allowed to look at slide and homework though, but and definitely do not talk with your friends, etc. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you the things in really quickly. So in first thing we have learned so far, just do the practice question. Okay, practice and questions. Okay, the things we have learned so far is in chapter 1 we learned the probability, right? So we learned what just like your joint probability and marginal distributions. Those are very important. Like a joint probability we learned, and then also marginal probability, and what are those things? What is the meaning of a joint probability? For example, that is a probability of A, A and B, something like that. But marginal probability of something like probability of A. So these are some of the examples, and what is the meaning of? In second chapter we learned similar probability, but we extend that further, a little bit further. How did they extend that? Was a conditional probability, right? Conditional probability that we learned. So I'm gonna erase this part. So a conditional probability is like, okay, so a probability of A given B is what? So that is a probability of A intersection B over what? Probability of B. So this is definitely the formula you should know. I'm probably going to ask you something, a question like that on the exam, I guarantee you. So make sure you guys get the idea. For example, if I give you this and this, you should be able to recover this. Or if I give you this and this, you should be able to recover that. Or if I give you this too, you can get this idea, okay? I mean, it's gonna be super easy. I mean, as long as you study enough. I mean, I know it's the one of the challenging part in the online exam and online learning would be there is no interaction between you and me, no live interaction. I mean, I could haven't done like a live teaching style, but thing is, most of you, not most of you, let's say 1/3 of you guys are actually not in the U.S. They are like in, for example, other countries. They can only take the lecture during the night or AMs, very early in the morning, which, for example, if I schedule a class in certain times, some can attend, some cannot attend. So to prevent those things, I should just record my lecture. I mean, that is drawback. Honestly, I want to have some interaction with you guys. I mean, I like to talking with the students and everything, but the thing is, only interaction is I give you the lecture, you listen, that's it. I mean, the funny thing is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a funny thing, but nobody has contacted me about any question. I mean, you guys have 40 students, but nobody has contacted me, Professor, how can I serve this? Pretty much I'm making an assumption that you guys are very smart, or you didn't study, or I didn't give you enough exercise so that you don't have a question or etc. Whatever. But anytime if you have a question, just contact me. Okay. So after this exam, by the way, this is side note, but after this exam, I'm gonna just start teaching you guys some R program for our final project. As you know, our semester ends end of November, so we're gonna have about 2 months left. So I'm gonna teach you guys some of the important project, but and for that reason, I'm actually posting the videos very early because so that you can review it. It doesn't mean that you. I mean, I also gave you a very generous deadline for the homework. It doesn't mean that you can submit in the last minute, because the exam is next week. And it doesn't mean that you need to study just day before. It's like that. So I'm just trying to give you enough time. And by the way, the third chapter we have been learning, I mean, this is something you should know. Just interact is probability and continual probability. For example, those are very closely related, okay? The second thing would be, third thing would be, okay, third thing, what we have learned, okay, third thing would be average, average, and median. And try to remember how to find average and median, especially frequencies. When you have a frequencies, right? Remember, for example, you can get order frequencies. Okay, let me give you an example. I mean, what is the average of like one, and if you have a one, two, two, three, and something like that, or then basically what you're getting for this one is basically if I'm asking the average, then it's going to be 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 divided by 2, 4, 6 divided by 6. Median in the middle 2, or it's going to be actually these two are middle, so 2 plus 2 divided by 2 is 2. So that was a median thing, but you can convert this to frequency so that it's going to be okay. On the this side, it's going to be x. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. How many frequency do we have? Frequency. This is there are 2 ones and there are 3 twos. It's 1 ones. Oh no, it should be a 1 by the way. So it should be 1. So in other words, you can convert this to probability. This is very important. There is a reason why I'm explaining this now. But the probability, how many do we have? A total of 6. So it's a 2 over 6, or it's going to be 33%. And this is what? 3 over 6 is about a 50%, and it's 1 over 6 about 17%. So total of 100%. So how did you get the mean? So mean is what? 1 times. So that is a weighted. So it's going to be 1 times. 1 time 0.33. This is be 2 times 0.5 and 3 times 1.7. So after you're doing that, just summate that. The summation of that would be your average. So you can do the similar thing for your for variances as well. But that would be the chapter 4. But chapter 3, you can get this averages using frequencies. These are the same. I explained the super detail, really detail in the my video, lecture video 3. But those who haven't seen that, you might want to go back to video, check it out, because I explain in details. I explained some of the questions. I mean, I might ask some question just from this slide, 3, for example, but who knows? But you might want to check it out, some of the questions over there as well. So study those. I explain detail. Okay, so we learned this average and median thing. So the next chapter we did was the variance thing, like just measure of variances, whatever thing. So that is like a variance. So a variance thing. Similar, the idea was just some of it. I explained in detail how to find the variance. And standard deviation was what? Standard deviation is skeletal variance, that kind of thing. So make sure you guys should be able to get the standard deviation and variance thing, okay? Okay, you can also get the variance and standard deviation using this frequency table. Again, I explained in detail in the video, okay? And lastly, chapter 5 would be a binomial distribution. Binomial distribution. That is a discrete random variable. Or and then when the y variable is either 1 or 0, right? So that is either something like, okay, not y, let's say some x equal 1 is like if yes, or if or success, or and then x equal 0 is I encoded if no, and it's like a failure, okay, failure, etc. So etc. So if these are the case, then you can find there are some binomial distributions, and then can get the, for example, we did, okay, if what is the probability that if we have 20 questions in the exam, but if you just choose randomly multiple question, what is the probability that you are getting only 2 right? If y is the number of questions you are getting right, it's okay. You're right. Is this is y? Then I ask you what is the probability that y equal 2? Then I show you how you get exact y. You get exactly same answer. In this question. So these are types of question you can potentially looking at. So in parameter was what? Parameter was basically I'm asking n and p probability. So those are the thing I ask you guys. Okay. Definitely you can look at that. Okay. So these are basically the topic up to chapter 1. Basically everything. So it's not gonna be it's gonna be hard if you didn't study, of course, but it's not gonna be hard and not challenging at all if you study enough, So I'm gonna I only made some fair questions that based on the lecture, but definitely you need to study to do well. If you didn't study, you cannot do well at all. Given the limited of time, you cannot find the answers, anywhere. You got to show the answer just from scratch. In the answer sheet, try to, you don't have to show me in detail, but just if you can, just show me what steps you took to get the final answer, because the thing is important. Even if your final answer is wrong, but your steps are something reasonable, but you made a typo or mistake, I can give you some partial credit. But if you didn't show me anything, I couldn't give you. Try to type something, I can lead your typing, even if you cannot type something, numbering thing, but just type whatever, pronunciate. You just type whatever thing, if you can, just, but in the Blackboard, because exam will be on the Blackboard, and do not, take a picture and send to me, just try to type as much as possible. Even if that you cannot type it, just write in words in English, okay? That would be fine for your partial credit, okay? And you guys gonna have enough time, basically you're gonna have 18 hours of window to take the exam. I mean, I can give you some extra time. The exam was supposed to be like 70 minutes, but I can give you more time if you want. But having more time is not important, you know. I mean, based on my past experiences, even if students have a whole lot of time, if you didn't study, you cannot do that. I mean, that is the nature of the exam, as you know. But just try to study all the 5 chapters and just, I mean, how nice is that? I mean, one of the benefits of online exam is one. I mean, you can go back to the lecture, right? I mean, go back to the lecture and take a listen, even if you miss. You cannot excuse, oh, sorry, I missed the lecture, you know, etc., because I already recorded everything. So always, okay, also, I'm available. If you guys have any question, just reach out to me. Hey, professor, I have this question. I tried to solve this one, but I couldn't find the answer. Do you think you can help me on that, or any resources do you think you can give me, or etc., etc.? I mean, you have a 1 week, but do not ask just right before the exam or during the exam. Okay, I will not answer anything, you know, after 6 p.m. The exam time. I cannot answer you anything. Okay, 6 p.m. September 27th. But before that, feel free to reach out to me, you know, so we can talk about that. So these are some of the things I can give you. Always good idea is, again, first, review all the questions in the slide. Second, do all the homeworks. Third, just review the practice question and get the idea what kinds of question I might ask to you, okay? I mean, those are definitely good tips for you guys. And also during the you know, the lectures, I gave you some of the hints. I mean, so maybe you can take the hints, but mostly the hints are from the questions available in the slide. So it would be a good idea for you to actually go back and take a look at those slides. Okay. While you're studying, if you're stuck or needing some help, always reach out to me, and I'm available. And I hope, I honestly hope you guys are doing very well on the exam. I mean, this is my third time of teaching, but I am trying to give you a very good grade. If you are doing well and if you try to work hard, I try to give you as much, you know, incentive, also give you anything you guys need. I'm always available, and just reach out to me, you know, if you have a question. But even if you do not, you can send them an email. Okay, can you answer this question? I mean, if you you know, can you be more specific about, you know, I mean, any question on that or whatever thing? I mean, we can communicate, but most of the time too, because I know some of you guys are shy and cannot reach, so I try to explain as detailed as possible in those slides, and then also in the lecture while I'm lecturing, so that will be also enough. Okay, then good luck with your exam, and if you guys have any question, always reach out to me, okay? And otherwise, we can see you again later. Bye. And always stay safe, okay? Bye.